Welcome back to another episode with Naked Truth with Abby. I'm here today with Shakira Mills. She's the founder of Serenity Motivated. She was born and raised in rural St. Andrew, Jamaica. Her experience have molded her into a humble yet confident individual, devoted to enlightening others so they too can find their purpose and achieve their goals. She holds a bachelor's degree in anthropology, gender, and development. She's also certified in the science of well-being and instructional design. She has over 5 years experience in leadership and motivational speaking and is here with us today to help us to motivate ourselves and just to empower us. So the topic today is on empowerment, and I just want to say thank you, Shakira, for joining me. It is a pleasure and welcome.
No problem. Thank you so much, Abigail, for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so just let us know, give us a rundown of who you are and your journey to empowerment and why you chose personal development.
Okay. Who is Shakira? I am a fun-loving individual, vibrant. I love the color pink. I like anything sparkly, anything pretty. 9 to 5, I am a procurement personnel at the University of the West Indies.
Awesome.
Separate and apart from that, I do teach Caribbean studies and I tutor Caribbean history. And I'm a motivational speaker, full-time, holistically, separate and apart from 9 to 5, and then what we do on the side to keep the hustle moving. How did I get into motivational speaking? It was actually by blogging. So I was in the motivational space by writing first, and I wasn't thinking about speaking. I'm shy.
Me too.
Right. So I wasn't thinking about speaking. It wasn't on the top of my list. I wanted to write and express myself and use my writing pieces to motivate other persons. But then somebody sent me an email after reading my blog and invited me to speak on a topic. And after one engagement comes another, then another, and before you know it, you're not a motivational blogger anymore. You're a motivational speaker. And that's really the story. That's the transition.
That's awesome. Awesome. Today our topic is empowerment, and it's such a strong topic. Just wanted to let us know what is empowerment.
Okay, so the first thing I want to establish is that when I talk about empowerment, we're talking about human empowerment. A lot of times people mix that up and say women empowerment. No, I believe that empowerment is for both genders, women and men. And so I tailor my content to appeal to that. Secret is that I do teach boys, Jamaica College. So men need empowerment too.
Definitely.
What do I mean by yes, definitely. What do I mean by empowerment is really how do we keep uplifting? How do we keep moving? How do we keep going no matter where we're coming from, no matter what we've been through? That's my aim of empowerment, uplifting people from the darkest places. And that's just through my own experiences.
Great. And how do we become empowered?
Being empowered is a lot of work, It's not an overnight.
It's not a one day thing.
Not at all, Abigail. I have been consistently working on myself. So I can tell you that being empowered, getting to this level, I called myself an empowerment speaker just a year ago. Getting to this level took a great deal of work. So it's firstly not an overnight thing, but it takes a lot of belief in self. It takes a lot of doing that reflection on who you are and what has made you into this human being, for you to fully now accept who you are so that you can present yourself as this human being that you are now living in this purposeful journey. So getting empowered is a lot of work. It's a lot of self-work. It's a lot of working on you and believing in yourself so that you step out there and show the world exactly who you are.
How important is being empowered to our well-being and our mental space?
That's a great question, because, and I'll use this, we are in a different realm now.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
A year ago, 2 years ago, we'd never believe that this would be where we where this would be where we are in life. And a lot of persons, it has taken a toll on them mentally. A lot of persons don't want to stay in between the four walls. It's hard because, again, we don't want to spend any time with ourselves. We don't like ourselves that much. And so we can't get to go out and do the facade and party it out and all of that.
Exactly.
And so understanding who you are and getting to that level of appreciating all that you are, to get into that level of empowerment is so important to your mental well-being. Because you see, when you don't like who you are, you can't spend time with you.
You can't spend time with you. And I've encountered persons like that. I've had family members who they are so down right now because they can't go to party, they can't go to smoke with their friends, they have to stay inside. So I do know, and even my sister had struggled with just being with herself. She always in the wrong crowd because she wasn't comfortable being with herself. She's always feeling bored. She's always feeling lonely. So it definitely has to do something. But I think steadily she's getting to know herself and it's becoming better for her. But
That's awesome.
that's definitely affects our mental health when we don't know self.
Yeah.
Does equality and empowerment goes together, or can you be empowered without equality?
So I'll be honest and tell you that I don't think the world is going to get to a point where every single individual will be seen as equal.
Right.
There will be an individual that's going to see you as lower than them. There are people that's going to see me as lower than them. There are people that's going to see you as lower than them.
Right.
That's just how the realm is. Whether we're living in the Caribbean, whether we're talking about racism, colorism, gender-wise, there's always going to be somebody that thinks that they're here and you're here. So no, I don't think equality has anything to do with being empowered.
Right.
There's always going to be somebody, yeah? There's always going to be somebody that's going to think that they're better than you, or they're above you. So you're never going to be on that equal term in that social line. You just have to know where you stand for you. You can't watch what the world is saying. Because again, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall in that trap of where society is trying to put you. But why does society need to tell me where I should be? And why does society need to tell you where you should be? That's for you to determine, right? So we have to realize that we can't wait for equality to happen for Jim and Georgia to accept us for who we are. We have to do that acceptance, and then pull ourselves up and bring ourselves to where it is that we want to be. So no, I don't think equality has anything to do with being empowered. If we're waiting on that, then we'll be waiting forever.
So it's a sense of building our own pedestal.
Yes.
And that's a good way to look at it. What techniques do you use on a day-to-day basis to empower others?
Empower others. What techniques do I use? They call me the motivator. If you come to me, I'm always motivating you. Some people tell me, Shakira, I come to you to talk, just shut off the motivation for right now. Just listen to what I'm saying. I don't want you to comment. I don't want you to boost me up at this moment, which is understandable because sometimes we just need to vent.
Just need someone to listen.
Giving a word of encouragement. I think that's something that we as people in society can do. We don't compliment each other. We don't tell each other that we did something good. We don't, we're not boosting up anybody because we're so busy with trying to boost up ourselves, or so busy with trying to be entitled that we
are so busy trying to compete.
So busy trying to compete that we don't stop to say, Abigail, you're doing a great job. This is a great movement. We don't stop to do that. And it is in doing that we can really help other people, because you don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't know how your word is going to change another person's outlook on themselves. and how your word is gonna just change another person's mood or their day. And so it's so important that we just pause to give each other some upliftment.
Because I always say you don't know what the person is going through. They might be fighting to get out of bed. You don't know, and then they get out of bed, and then you might say something to them that is belittling, and it just makes them spiral into another mood. So sometimes the best thing to do is to encourage one another and to just love each other and just try to be as one.
Because it can be something so simple as, say, I'm gonna like how your shoes look. And that can just tear down somebody's confidence. Right. Because they thought that, I put the shoes on with the outfit and I pop in, and then you just brought their confidence level down. So I love this saying, if you don't have nothing good to say,
no say nothing.
Don't say nothing. And I'm not saying that if we have our friends, we can't call out when something bad is happening. But it can be that every time you see a person,
that's what you have to say, the negativity.
Right. The first thing is the negativity. So we have to be mindful of that.
Right. What can those in charge of governance, the government or ministers, do to empower us?
They need to pour in. They need to pour into us. I don't think we have a lot of movements or community development. That's just personally developing people. That's just really looking at, separate and apart from skills and jobs and education. That's looking at how do you personally develop you. Because you can be so educated, but so unhappy.
Right.
And so you have to learn how to work on yourself. And I don't think the government is doing that. So I think programs must be implemented. We have community centers. It's not just helping our children with homework. Let's teach them to write reasons why they like themselves, why they love themselves. To write affirmations. What do you think about who you are? Those things are so important from a young age. And if we could more society like that, we'd have a lot more confident individuals. We'd have persons that want to do more with their life because they understand their value and they understand their worth. But a lot of people don't. Right? A lot of people don't understand that, whether it's where they're coming from or just the circumstances that they have at this moment. So life seems so dull. Life seems that it's ending right here and it can't get better. And so if you can do that process from early, so they can just understand their worth and their value, a lot can change. Because if I know my worth, I'm not going to do certain things. Yeah, I'm not going to dip on the corner wasting no time. I'm not going to teeth nothing. Or I'm going to find another way. I'm going to try and develop my goals and my skills because I know what I'm worth and nobody can stop me. And so we have to carve that mindset into our people.
You know, as we speak about this, about 2 years ago, a friend of mine and I tried to set up a environmental club in the community where we would incorporate people as the environment, because at the end of the day, we are a very vital part of the environment. So we wanted to do stuff like that where we would encourage the youngest children to just be bold and to give them roles where they can know leadership. And we started and it was going good for a while, but I guess they didn't understand the importance of it, so that they all stopped coming. So we do need people in power to help to build these kind of organization in the small communities and even the big communities as well.
That's so true. And I love what you say, that they didn't understand the importance. And a lot of the times we have to realize that everything starts in the mind. And right. So I don't see the value of what you're doing and I don't think anything about it. I'm not going to continue. And so it's the mindset of the people, that we have to try and curtail. Hard. Right. It's a hard job. But every little make a muckle, and we have to start small until we can just branch out.
That's true. On the topic of empowerment, education as a form of empowering women and empowering others, how do you see that?
education is vital to me personally. I'm not saying that education is your only way, but I'm saying that was my route. And I
Mine
saw
too.
you understand where I'm coming from. That was my route, and I saw the possibility, and I saw it for others as well. I knew of a lady. She used to sell downtown every single morning before she went to high school. She went to the Queen's School. And she worked her way up. She studied her book, and before you know it, she's an attorney at law. So
Right.
again, education is so important. No matter where you're coming from, you have to take your education seriously, and it can empower you. Because I love this saying: once you go to tertiary education, once you go to a tertiary institution, you're already in the middle class. Even if you don't have no job and unemployment rampant, they can't take away knowledge. They can't take away knowledge. And that knowledge that you gain, you can use it to do something else. A lot of people sitting down waiting to be hired, start a business, market yourself. We're in the age of social media. It is so easy to market now. And so education can empower you so much, because there's so much that you can do with it and cannot be taken away. They can't take away a degree, Abigail. No matter whatever is going on in your life, you hold that is yours. And so it's important that the youth of Jamaica understand that, and that they use up the opportunities to try and get that education. And boy, I wish you could make education more accessible. That's another topic though, but that's something that I wish we could do, make education more accessible.
More accessible. What can we do as women to empower each other? I think we touched on this a little bit earlier when we were talking about telling each other that we matter and telling each other that we're doing a good job. But what else can we do?
It's simple, and they say it all the time. We need to support each other. So much time we sit down in the corner, chatting, whisper, say, oh, see Jane over there, so she do this. And we don't want to support Jane in her endeavor. Or we call Jane start to sell makeup, kiki, and we wouldn't buy a lip gloss from Jane. We prefer to go to the pharmacy, and we know that Jane has the same lip gloss. So as women, we have to support each other. We have to support each other, and you can't want to start a business and you're not supporting another person, or you can't start a movement and you're not supporting another person. So it is so important that we support each other.
Right.
We do collaborations with each other. You know of an opportunity or a networking opportunity, and you know that it's gonna work well for X person, or there's a scholarship that you just see. You know, you don't do nothing with sciences, but you know Rachel does the sciences. Share it, no? It takes nothing out of your day to share it to her.
Exactly.
And say, you know, I saw this and I thought of you.
I do that all the time.
It's just
and you know, one of my experience that I have is they will support you when you're in the planning stage, and when you take off, there's no one there. There's no one there. They will say, yeah, man, do it. And as soon as you do it, they're nowhere to be found. So we really do need to support each other. And we can take from other cultures as well, because look at the Chinese. They are
not leaving anybody out.
Nobody is left out. All right, for my final question, it's actually my final question. There's someone out there who's feeling powerless. What do you say to that person?
Come up from wherever you are. Nobody can determine your greatness but you. You are great, and you have to start believing that. Don't wait for somebody to tell you that you're great. Don't wait for somebody to see your vision. You have to believe that. Come all the way up from wherever you are. It is so important that you come up. Just those two words, come up. Remember, come up.
Do you have any final remarks for us?
Any final remarks? Other than thank you so much for this opportunity of sharing your platform with me. I hope that it goes on to so much further than this. turning on TVJ or something and seeing you. So thank you so much, Abigail, for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And before you go, just let us know your brand, where we can find you, where your social media is, so that if anyone wants to reach out, they can.
Okay, no problem. So my brand is Serenity Motivated, and our website is www.serenitymotivated.com. But of course, we're also on Instagram at Serenity Motivated. But you can also find me at Shakira Mills JM on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. I don't tweet that much though, but when I do it, it's very meaningful. And I'm on LinkedIn, Shakira Mills.
All right. Thank you again for coming. I really appreciate you taking out some of your time to come and speak with me. I do hope that you continue to grow, continue to empower, continue to uplift and enlighten. You are such a beautiful spirit, and just thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Abigail.
Bye. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
So guys, that was Shakira Mills for you. That's the end of our empowerment session. Remember, listen, take notes, and take action. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out when I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love and love always. Big up on yourself. And thank you for tuning in. Bye.